We respectfully acknowledge that the Windsor Regional Hospital occupies the traditional, ancestral, and contemporary lands of the Niswi, Ishkwiden, Anishinaabeg, the Three Fires Confederacy, Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi. We acknowledge the land and the surrounding waters for sustaining us, and we are committed to protecting and restoring these lands and waters from environmental degradation. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We're going to convene the 28th annual general meeting, and I would like to send a special welcome to all of our guests out there in YouTube land. We appreciate you being here. The first order of business is that the June 24th, 2021 minutes of the 27th annual general meeting be approved. Can I get a motion for that? Ms. Patty France. Thank you, Patty. And that's seconded by Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia. Questions or comments with regards to those? Seeing none, all in favor? Perfect. Thank you so much. Our first order of business is a check presentation by Ms. Beth Ann Prince, the president of the Windsor Regional Hospital Foundation.
Thank you, Anthony, and good evening, board members. I appreciate the time that we have together and giving me the opportunity to give an update on the foundation. I am pleased to report the foundation, despite some significant challenges due to the COVID pandemic, had a very successful year. We are grateful to our donors who helped us raise $3.6 million this past year, which is pretty incredible. Just a few highlights: the direct mail continues to be successful means to raise funds. We raised over $400,000 through direct mail, patient mail, and newsletters. In addition to the direct mail, the foundation engaged in a number of activities to achieve its targets: personal solicitation, third-party events, and lotteries. We're especially proud of the success that we've achieved through our mega lottery, our Mega Money 50/50 lottery. I know you have seen all the promotion for it, and our staff in the foundation office should be commended on their achievements through that fundraising effort. We also received $863,000 in gifts from estates in 2021-2022 fiscal year, which is quite significant. The funds that have been used to purchase virtually every program in the hospital, including major investments in the NICU, the operating rooms at both campuses. We purchased some high-low beds for patient rooms, diagnostic imaging, pediatrics, the lab, the cardiac care unit, and of course, respiratory series. So we continue the work towards the foundation's 5-year plan. The 5-year plan includes support for the OLET campus capital projects, the cath lab, and the day surgery. We have a $100,000 per year payment to the hospital to support the Windsor Health Institute, a new collaborative research center in Windsor, combining the efforts of the local healthcare and academic communities, which is wonderful, and making annual donations to the hospital for equipment and supplies. We are very grateful for third parties in the community, such as We Care for Kids, Transition to Betterness, and we continue to work together to achieve all of our goals. The foundation is currently in the quiet phase of the capital campaign to raise funds for the new acute care hospital, and we look forward to reporting our progress to you in the months to come. So special thanks to the foundation staff, as well as the board and the committee members who volunteer their time in support of the foundation to ensure that Windsor Regional Hospital can provide outstanding care with no exceptions. So at this time, I would like to present our contribution for this fiscal year.
I wish this was going into my bank account. No, congratulations to the foundation for another exceptional year. Beth Ann, the whole board, Giselle and her team, we cannot thank you enough. The hospital would not be able to survive without you guys. Truly an exceptional job, considering every single challenge that you have faced over the past year.
The face of fundraising has certainly changed over the last few years. We hope to get that face back to what we're used to. But considering the challenges, our contribution of $3.4 million is very significant to the hospital, and we are very pleased that we can present that today. So again, thank you to you as the board members of all your support that you give the foundation, and our staff at the foundation has been wonderful to work with and deal with their current situations, doing check presentations and acceptance and donations on the sidewalk rather than having appropriate recognition ceremonies has certainly, I don't like to use the word pivot, but we certainly have pivoted over the last few years, and we hope to get back doing things somewhat normal in the future. So again, congratulations on another successful year, and we are just so happy that we are able to contribute this to the hospital this year.
Well, thank you again, Beth Ann, and the whole team at the Windsor Regional Hospital Foundation for everything that you guys do. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night. So with that, we are going to move into reports, and the CEO, David Mouche, is with us via video. He was called away on business, so he will be here through video. So have a listen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As the chair outlined, I am currently traveling right now on hospital business and unfortunately cannot attend the AGM without risking connection issues on travel. The annual report does go into detail about how our frontline staff are really the story of this year. Their dedication, focus, caring, and professionalism is what resulted in a successful year, considering all that faced them. I keep trying to remind our community about our frontline staff that they are humans, meaning they have lives outside of the hospital. They share similar stresses in their life, as does anyone else in the community who's encountered these stresses over the last 2 years. They're not immune to life and the curveballs that life throws at them. However, I am so proud at how they have responded to what has faced them over the last couple of years. However, at the same time, our team members recognize that they're employed, and there's a lot of individuals in this community that did not have the ability to be employed, and they recognize the support of those in our community that have been negatively impacted by the pandemic. We are close to 10% more staff now than what we had pre-pandemic on the front lines than we had at the start of COVID. However, the typical summer reprieve has not occurred. We are seeing greater than 100% census, with some 53 more beds open than pre-COVID. Our system is stressed. We're very concerned what is heading for us in the fall. Again, we're planning for the worst as best we can. The new acute care hospital cannot happen soon enough, and we truly appreciate the support of the Windsor Essex community and the current government for their clearly stated support to get the new hospital done. One of the main reasons this past year can be considered a success is our senior team and medical advisory committee. To a person, they have worked tirelessly with the main focus of our patient and community. I'm truly proud to be associated with such dedicated, strong leaders. We have laughed and cried together, but at the end of the day, we focused on our patients and fellow team members. One of our team members is retiring, Mark Fathers. Mark has been a steady presence and has gotten us through some difficult years at WRH and will be missed. Shockingly, what he has gone through, I want to look like Mark when I'm lucky enough to get to his age. Thank you, Mark, and congratulations on your retirement. Board of Directors, thank you. I wish other words worked. You folks set the tone and direction. You folks provide support for us to keep going. It truly means a lot. Similar to what I remind the community about our staff, I do so for the board. What people also fail to realize is the board are unpaid volunteers. They do this in their spare time for free for the benefit of the community. Mr. Chair, you have joined us in our laughing and crying. Thank you for doing this part-time job in addition to your full-time job. Luckily, one of the jobs pays the bills. Thank you for your leadership. As we have recalled, you are the first chair to require security protection. You did not flinch. In fact, you're sticking around to ensure a smooth transition to our next chair. Today, we are losing a strong leader. Not to our community, he'll still be there for our community, but from the hospital board. Mr. Dan Wilson was the chair of the board before Mr. Panicia. Under Dan's leadership, our hospital got its fiscal house in order and also was honored with accreditation with exemplary status. This included one of the highest percentage of Met standards as one can get. The only issue we faced under Dan is we got both of those issues resolved and awarded about a week before we had to worry about COVID-19. Then Dan ended his chairmanship at the start of the pandemic. Dan, I truly appreciated working with you, with your advice, direction, and support. I'll never forget it. You led us into the start of a pandemic in a strong and confident position. As a result, I am certain lives were being saved and decisions being made without concern or worry about other issues that were resolved before the pandemic started. On behalf of myself, I want to thank all of you for getting us through this very difficult year and also looking forward to the challenges that face us ahead. Thank you, Windsor Essex community, and thank you for all your support.
Well, thank you, David, virtually. I'm sure he will get the message. Next on the docket tonight is Dr. Wasim Saad, the Chief of Staff.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Obviously, I want to echo David's thanks to the board. The board has been extremely supportive of myself ever since I took over, and I took over a few months before COVID started as well. All of these timelines seem to start and end where COVID starts and ends. But instead of focusing on COVID and all the trials and tribulations that we've had over the past year, which I'm sure everybody here is familiar with, and I knew David would do a great job of highlighting COVID stresses, I'm going to focus on something that's non-COVID related. And it has to do with some of the successes that we've had as an MAC and for our professional staff. Over the past year, we've strengthened the culture of patient safety and quality by developing an integrated quality framework, by hiring a chief quality officer, and working with our chief operating officer and CNE, Karen Riddell, on creating a framework that's going to help that has built the foundation that will now help with all the quality reviews that are going to happen in the organization moving forward. And it's a very exciting time when it comes to quality reviews and improving the quality of care delivered at the hospital. We have recruited many professional staff members over the past year. Yes, we've lost some were retired due to the stress of the pandemic, and that's something that we are going to see moving forward. But we continue to replace some of those retired professional staff members with new, keen, eager professionals that are coming in from all parts of the country and in some cases from outside the country to help bolster the clinical care that we're providing. We are obviously trying to continue with one of the biggest projects, which is our academic and research vision, by increasing and improving our footprint when it comes to that space. With the support of this board, we were able to start an office of research with funding to help with creating projects, integrating all of the research projects going on in the organization. and continuing to grow it to the point where we recently had a very substantial donation from two of our professional staff members of $250,000 to continue to get it off the ground and get the ball rolling on some very exciting opportunities. And this also will lead us down the path to eventually becoming an academic health sciences center, which is very exciting. Obviously, there have been a lot of other positive developments, but again, echoing what David said, I could not do my job without the support of the board, and you all have been there every time I came to you with an idea or an opportunity to expand the membership within the MAC or create a subcommittee of the MAC for recruitment and retention or academics and research. You were always very supportive. I also could not do my job without the team in medical affairs. The director, Jessica Bennett, the manager that again was position was supported by the executive committee and the board, and everyone working in medical affairs, because I don't think a lot of times people recognize how much work it takes to bring in a new physician or a professional staff member. There is a credentialing process that we have to go through. There's applications, and the process is months long that culminates with approval at this level. But all that hard work, I would just want to recognize the team, and I couldn't do what I do without their help, and I also couldn't do what I do without your help. So thank you again to the board for everything for this past year. I see nothing but exciting times in the year ahead. There will be challenges as people face burnout coming out of the COVID pandemic. I hope we don't deal with more COVID-related issues, although that's an unknown, but we still have to carry forward with the key recruitment and retention, quality, and academics and research. And that's what I'm here for, and that's what I'll continue to do with your support. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saad. Appreciate all the words. I guess it's time for me. So just so you know, I had a lawyer draw my remarks tonight. So they get paid by the word, so it is quite lengthy. So I will apologize in advance. I wish it was the truth. I just got really wordy. So when I became chair of the board 2 years ago, I was tremendously honored and humbled to be given this privilege. And I still feel honored to hold this position. I was and continue to be excited to work with my fellow directors and the hospital senior management team to push forward ambitious initiatives and implement our updated strategic plan to build a brighter future for our hospital and our region. As we moved into 2022, I hope the COVID pandemic would dissipate and we would start getting back to normal. And that's exactly what happened, at least in my dreams. We are all well aware that was not the case. 2022, although not as tumultuous as 21, was still filled with regions struggling with outbreaks, lockdowns, all while the general population desired for things to get back to normal. Our hospital community continued to pivot, adjust, and accept different, sometimes unconventional and even innovative approaches in terms of resetting our health, family, and work obligations. I'm in awe of the healthcare community in Windsor, Essex, and its ability to respond and keep up with ever-changing, ever-evolving guidelines from multiple provincial, federal governmental branches and public health agencies. To adjust on the fly, to innovate, and to collaborate was and is truly remarkable. Much of this praise needs to be directed to our President and CEO, David Moucher, our Chief of Staff, Dr. Wasim Saad, and our Chief Nursing Executive, Karen Riddell. These three individuals went above and beyond in the performance of their duties in order to keep the ship on an even keel while weathering the storm. But knowing the three of them as I do, they would say it was their VPs that really are doing the heavy lifting. Mark Fathers, Vice President, Corporate and Laboratory and Services, Chief Financial Officer. It is a sad day because this will be Mark's final AGM. So Mark, again, thank you for your time and commitment to this organization. You were steadfast in your leadership over the past 8 years as CFO and many years before that in numerous financial roles. And then with that, we're welcoming in our new CFO, Melissa Gauthier. Melissa, welcome to the team, and we're looking forward to many years of you being CFO and looking forward to working with you. Jonathan Foster, Vice President of Emergency Services and Mental Health. Teresa Morris, Vice President of Medicine and Corporate Patient Flow. Rosemary Petrakis, Vice President of Perioperative Surgery, Women's and Children. And then last and certainly not least, Todd Bested, our new Vice President of People and Culture. I'd also like to say thank you to our Medical Advisory Committee for their fantastic support over the past year. We have Dr. Lioli, Dr. Takahashi, Dr. Ninkovich, Dr. Alkalani, Dr. Kanjigal, Dr. Augustine, Dr. Sulier, Dr. Zakarla, Dr. Denoa, Dr. Mazzetti, Dr. Velahorsky, Dr. Hassan, Dr. Jacobs, and Dr. Sababal. Again, I apologize if I've missed anybody. I know there's been a lot of turnover the past year. So again, thank you so much. But the funny thing is I named all these names, but it's really, really funny because all of these same individuals that I just named that David and team would have said, no, it was them. Realistically, each one of these individuals would have said, no, it's the people that are working with me or for me. And they're the ones that are really doing all of the hard work. So it's their managers, it's those frontline staff. That really tells a lot. That atmosphere of really pushing accolades to everyone tells me that this is truly a team effort from the top down, from the bottom up. Exceptional care, no exception, is a joint responsibility that all of us take to heart. And it is that dedication to our community that makes our institution and everyone in it truly exceptional. I should also point out that a team's success is often defined by the dedicated and committed team of our administrative professionals. Honestly, we could not do it without them. And I will apologize in advance. I will miss somebody here, but Dawn Sutherland, Mary Macera, Jen Pasco, Lori Trotty, and Diane Roberts, thank you for your support, support of the management team and support of the board of directors and its many, many committees. I'd also like to take a moment to give a special shout out to Dan Wilson, our past chair. He has been a part of the board and committees for the past 13 years. We've been lucky to have him. As he moves away from our board, I'm excited for what community group will benefit from his exceptional expertise next. He has been an outstanding leader and mentor to all of us on the board. He is a wonderful man who fulfills his duties with dedication, enthusiasm, and cares for this hospital deeply. I should have said this hospital and our community deeply, because he really has and does a lot for our community. I'd probably take another 30 minutes to explain everything that he does. Our hospital has been very lucky to have him on our board. Again, thank you, Dan, and best wishes in your future endeavors. Governing during a pandemic, year 2, continues to test the board of directors as well. The board continues to fulfill its fiduciary responsibilities in the ever-changing environment, giving extraordinary stresses put on the management and staff. Well, like everyone else, adjustments were made and ways were found to continue to provide the necessary organizational stewardship. The past year, so again, sorry, I had deleted my line, but thank you to the board of directors, to all the committee members for everything that you've done over the past year, the countless hours of reading and meetings. It's truly remarkable that you are giving up your time. So I also want, the past year, we continue to forge stronger ties with all of our community partners, the Windsor Essex Health Unit, Erie Shores Healthcare, and Chris and Kennedy, Hotel du Grace Healthcare, Janice Caffer and their new CEO, Bill Mara, St. Clair College and Patty France University of Windsor, Dr. Robert Gordon, the City of Windsor, Mr. Mayor, Drew Dilkins, and all of the municipalities making up Essex County. Sorry, there's too many to name. Again, I wish I could name all of our outstanding community partners. Unfortunately, we do have a timeline and we would be here all night. So again, thank you to all of our community partners for making and contributing to our success. You know, I want to highlight the past year turned out to be an extraordinary one, not only for the hospital, for the community it serves. Some of the most exciting things that we have planned at the hospital moving into 2023 and beyond, obviously the new acute care hospital. We have the second cath lab table. This dates back all the way to 2014, and this is coming to fruition in the near future. And lastly, a much needed new MRI machine and structure to house it. You know, no remarks from me would be complete without acknowledging the dedicated work undertaken by the Windsor Regional Hospital Foundation. This past year has been hard and even detrimental to many charities. The hospital's foundation faced the challenge of fundraising during a pandemic head on, and their hard work and dedication led to enormous success, $3.4 million worth of success. As a community we serve responded and were extremely generous in their giving for both hospital clinical equipment and for the upcoming new acute care facility. Many thanks to Giselle Sagan for everything that she has done to advance the foundation office. She has built an exceptional team, and we wish her well in her upcoming retirement or quasi-retirement. In closing, in closing, I want to thank my fellow directors who diligently attended the many board meetings and committee meetings throughout the year, offered their advice and thoughtful input on our governance matters, and took courageous steps to approve initiatives which will lead to a brighter future for our hospital. Going forward, we need to sustain the gains and innovations that came about as a result of working through this pandemic. We need to capitalize on our opportunities and continue to be vigilant and responsive to the challenges which we know will come. Health, human resources probably being the #1 priority at this time. The collaborative team efforts of our skilled board, talented leadership team, dedicated staff, physicians, and frontline workers bodes well for an exciting future for our hospital. Thank you again for an exceptional 2022, and I'm looking forward to 2023. See, I told you a lawyer wrote that. It was a little long. With that, we are going to move on to the treasurer's report with Penny Allen.
Unmute. Yes. Thank you, Anthony. Yes, KPMG conducted an audit of the hospital's operations for the fiscal year 2021-22. The FAR committee met with KPMG on 2 separate occasions. The first time to discuss audit planning and including, just a second here, got distracted. Yes, with KPMG on May 24th, 2022. Maybe I'll start over. The first time to discuss the audit planning, including audit materiality, current developments in audit trends, and COVID-19 impact on the financial statements. The second FAR meeting with KPMG was on May 24th, 2022. KPMG completed a clean audit report on our financial statements for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2022. KPMG stated that the financial statements represent fairly the financial position of the hospital as at March 31st, 2022, and the results of the operations and its cash flows for the year, and ended in accordance with Canadian public sector accounting standards. The revenue over expense for the year is 0, a balanced operating result. There was a 6.4 million deficit. However, the Ministry of Health has indicated that hospitals can offset deficits using unearned volume funding, which regional hospital has approximately 10.5 million. The hospital has used the 6.4 million of its unearned volume revenue to address the deficit, so it's just zero. The hospital may have to refund the leftover amount back to the Ministry of Health in 2022-23, next year. There has been an impact on revenue and expenses due to COVID-19 for the entire fiscal year. You may want to review financial statements, note 22, if you want more information on regarding the COVID impact. Thank you to Mark Fathers, who has recently retired as the Chief Financial Officer, and I have worked with him for quite some time, and I really appreciate his work and his team, who provided anything the committee required. Thanks to the FAR committee for their ongoing commitment to the hospital. Also, I want to thank Sandra Buglich and Ramona Nordeman for their support and service on the FAR committee. They are leaving, actually. Sandra recently completed her term as a community member. So that is my report.
With that, there is a motion that the statements of the Windsor Regional Hospital for the fiscal year ended March 31st, 2022 be approved.
I'll move it, yes.
And that's the motions made by Penny Allen, seconded by McLeod. Thank you, Ian. Questions or comments with regards to those items? Seeing none, all in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you so much. So then we have another motion on the floor that KPMG be confirmed as the auditors for Windsor Regional Hospital for the fiscal year 2022/23.
Mr. Chair, can I interject for a moment before we continue with that motion? We actually
Yes.
have RFP for our audits right now. So for our auditors, although typically this would be the meeting where we would confirm our auditors, we will actually need to defer that until the fall because we have to score and award the RFP at that time.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for that.
I didn't know that. No, yeah. Okay.
Bear with me. All right. The next motion is the ancillary motions. So the first is that all acts and proceedings of the Board of Directors in Windsor Regional Hospital for fiscal year 2021-22 be accepted. Mover, Mary Dawson. Thank you, Mary. Seconded by Genevieve Eshok. Thank you. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Wonderful. We will move to the election and confirmation of directors and appointment of professional staff to the Board of Directors. The first motion is that the following persons be elected to the Board of Directors of Windsor Regional Hospital for the first year of a 3-year term until the annual general meeting of 2025. Dr. Lori Freeman, David Mallion, and Linda Stout. Can I get a mover? We have Paul LaChance. Thank you, Paul. Seconded by Mary Dawson. Thank you so much. Questions or comments with regards to those? Seeing none, all in favor? Wonderful, thank you. The next motion is that the following persons be confirmed to the Board of Directors of Windsor Regional Hospital for the second year of a 3-year term until the annual general meeting of 2024. Anthony Panicha, Penny Allen, Genevieve Eshok, Laura Kopad, Paul LaChance, Ian McLeod, and Mary Dawson. Can I get a mover for that? We have Cynthia Bissonnette. Thank you, Cynthia. Seconded by Lori. Thank you, Lori. Sorry. There she is. Sorry, I apologize. Questions or comments with regards to that? Seeing none, all in favor? The next motion on the floor is that the following persons be confirmed to the Board of Directors of Windsor Regional Hospital for the third year of a 3-year term until the annual general meeting of 2023. Patricia France, Michael Lavoie, and Cynthia Bissonnette. Can I get a mover for that? We have Genevieve Eshok, seconded by Paul Lachance. Thank you. The next motion on the floor is that the following persons be appointed to the Board of Directors of Windsor Regional Hospital on the authority of their position reflected herein for 2021-2022. I think, sorry, I missed this one, so it should actually be 22-23 year. So it's David Moucher, President and CEO, ex officio, non-voting, President, professional staff. Oh, sorry. Dr. Larry Jacobs, President, professional staff, ex officio, non-voting, Associate Dean Schulich, ex officio, non-voting. Dr. Meher Sababal, VP, professional staff, ex officio, non-voting. Dr. Wasim Saad, Chief of Professional Staff and VP, Medical Affairs, ex officio, non-voting. And Ms. Karen Riddell, CNE, COO, ex officio, non-voting. Can I get a mover for that? We have Laura Kopat, thank you. Seconded by Penny Allen, thank you. Questions or comments with regards to those? Seeing none, all in favor? Wonderful, thank you. Next, we have the confirmation of committee membership. The motion on the floor is that the following 13 committee memberships be confirmed for 1-year appointments until the annual general meeting of 2023. Under the quality of care, we have Nadine Monroe-Wackerl, Dr. Neela Das, Susan Taylor, Chris Lanou, Ryan Elizabeth Wood, Aman Haddad, Carol LeClaire, Nursing Rep, Quality of Care. Under the Finance, Audit, and Resource Committee, we have Anna Kirby, Dwayne Dawson, Trevor Chapman, Robert Klein, Mark Jones, Jamie Skitovich, and under the HR Subcommittee, we have Natalie Yoon, and we are actually missing somebody. Sorry.
Kashif Saeed, sorry.
Kashif Saeed. Sorry, I did not get that earlier. Can I get a mover for that? Ian, thank you. Seconded by Cynthia, thank you. Questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Perfect, thank you. Again, I just want to say a big thank you to Dan Wilson, as this will be his last meeting. Honestly, I think I've said it all before. I think I've said it in about 17 meetings now, Dan. You are truly a great mentor. I was very happy to be able to follow your footsteps. You are a gentleman and a scholar, as they say. And truly, Windsor Regional has been very, very lucky to have you. And we wish you best of luck in your future endeavors. We're excited to see where you land next. So again, thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. And parting is such sweet sorrow. You guys are all have all become friends, and you will all be missed. But I hope our paths cross again in the future. And I would like to take just a moment to acknowledge all the hard work of Anthony this past 2 years. It's been a joy to work with him over the 10 or the 12 or some odd years we've worked together. But these past 2 years have been especially difficult, and he has provided excellent leadership to the hospital and to the board. So thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate the kind words. And the check is in the mail. With that, the tentative date of our next annual general meeting is Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. Our next motion on the floor is that the 28th annual general meeting of Windsor Regional Hospital be adjourned. And that is moved by Dan Wilson, seconded by Patty France. Thank you. Questions or comments? All in favor? Wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for your time, and have a wonderful summer. And for all of the board members, look at Dan's big smile on his face. We will have a short meeting after this, so if you want to log on to the other
No other link. We're just staying here after I take us off.
oh, okay, even better. Bye, Dan. Thanks so much. You're going to be missed.
Would you like me to end the stream now?
Yes, please. Man, we're flying.